What if a human skeleton could tell us that a man once faced a roaring lion in a British amphitheatre and did not survive? A skeleton as a historical eyewitness. In northern Britain, excavators recently found a grave that at first looked ordinary, but the bones held unusual clues. A pattern of healed cuts on the ribs, a crushed mandible unlike typical battle wounds, and a specific type of tooth puncture that matches large predatory animals. Combined with pottery dated to Roman rule and the discovery near a former amphitheatre site, researchers now think this person was a performer in an animal fight, a gladiator-style contest staged for local Roman gatherings. This is not the Mediterranean heartland of Roman spectacle, so the evidence stretches what we thought we knew about local entertainments. How bones tell a story. Human bones record stress. Repeated strain leaves specific marks. A hand with strong knucklewear suggests constant gripping of a weapon or shield. A skull scar will show healing patterns consistent with time to live post-injury. In this case, the skeleton displayed both healed defensive wounds and a fatal lower jaw injury consistent with a large claw or bite. For the forensic archaeologist, that combination reads like a short narrative. Many fights, many close calls, one final fatal confrontation against a beast. What this means for Roman Britain. Romans exported many cultural practices, including games, law, and architecture, but we assumed full-scale gladiatorial animal fights were rare in far provinces. This find changes that assumption. It suggests local civic centers may have staged wild spectacles to display Roman power, to integrate local elites, or to mark special occasions. If so, these events were not merely copies of Rome, but hybrid rituals shaped by local customs and resources. For modern viewers, that makes the provincial past feel vivid and more complex than a simple center-periphery story. The archaeology behind the scenes. Teams cleaned each bone, photographed it, and took tiny samples to test for isotopes. Isotope analysis can reveal a person's childhood region or diet. If this gladiator ate a protein-rich fare like a specialized training diet, that pattern might appear in bone chemistry. Nearby grave goods, such as small tools or tokens, will also be analyzed. Sometimes a gladiator's tomb contains an oil flask or a small figurine of a protective deity, hinting at how the community remembered him. Why the find matters to everyone. This is both a tragedy and a story about performance and public life. A man who fought for others' thrill left a record in bone and soil. For children, it reads like an epic tale. For adults, it forces questions about comfort found in spectacle and how communities honor those who risked themselves publicly. The grave invites us to imagine the noise of a crowd in a muddy amphitheater, the smell of sweat and dust, the roar of a wild beast, and one human life cut short. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed uncovering this piece of history. Share a history fact you find interesting in the comments. I love to learn new facts. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to explore more untold stories of the past.